At one point, Lars Hansen was publicly denouncing the fact that William Greer turned around and shot the president, was doing everything he could to attempt to discredit me. He and Lifton, you know who Lifton is, don't you? He and Lifton got together with one of these TV news magazines. I forget what it was, First Edition or something like that, and tried to bushwhack me is the only way I can say it. Only Lifton couldn't keep his mouth shut and revealed the whole plan on top radio in Los Angeles, so I was able to pull out of the deal. And guess what America saw on television? Lars Hansen claiming that William Greer turned around and shot the president in the head, and David Lifton and Bob Groden debunking everything that he said. Now, if Lars Hansen had renounced this theory and was going around the country doing everything that he could do to discredit me, claiming that I had stolen his film when it was, in fact, him who gave it to me, why was he now stating on television that William Greer turned and shot the president? Well, you see, that was supposed to be me. And when I found out, because Lifton's big mouth, and pulled out of it, because I knew that this would be on tape, you see. If it was live, I would have done it, because you can't change something that's live. But this was to be taped. And I had already had several experiences with so-called journalists in this country. When they tape something, when it's shown or when it's heard, it is never what was filmed or what was originally seen. The editing process can make you look like a hero or a fool. And I had no intention of being anyone's fool. I called Robert Groden and asked him why he was doing this when he had never talked to me, didn't even know me, had no idea who I was or what I was saying. And he claimed that he had a pristine version of the Zapruder film, which showed that William Greer never took his hands off the wheel. I then challenged him to a public debate where we would show his film, and he and I would debate whether or not William Greer turned and shot the president. Remember, I was looking for the proof. I was looking for the truth. And if it turned out that William Greer didn't shoot the president, I wanted to know that too. But guess what? Bob Groden would not debate me, and will not debate me to this day, and has never heard me out on the subject. And while you heard him tonight on the Tom Valentine Show discuss his pristine film, he has never released it to the public. And the one that he shows in his lectures, ladies and gentlemen, is not the entire Zapruder film. He does not discuss the areas where the film has been tampered with, nor the sections of film that he does not show. Yet he claims to be the world's #1 foremost photo analyst. And he has been, and always will be, a liar. You see, Bob Groden never had any training in photography, does not have a degree in photography, never worked in photography, yet he was billed to the United States Congress as the world's foremost #1 photo analyst. He had never been in the military and had never been a military or government photo analyst. And he told the Congress that William Greer never took his hands off the steering wheel. In fact, he lied to Congress about the Zapruder film. In his own press releases, he claims that he testified extensively before the House Assassination Committee in 1976. I stated this. I revealed to the public how he had lied to Congress and was lying to the public, and was not the world's #1 foremost photo analyst or anything even resembling such. I know unknown men who were lowly enlisted personnel in the military who knew more about photo analysis than most people who live in this world. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the truth. All of a sudden, Bobo Grits reared his ugly head and published in his book that I was a charlatan because I had slandered Robert Groden by stating that he had lied to the Congress and that he was not an expert photo analyst. But folks, you can look it up for yourself. It's in his own press releases. It is also in the congressional record. He did testify extensively and submitted a written report on the Zapruder film, which Congress, by the way, never saw. Neither did the Warren Commission view the Zapruder film. Now, it's been stated that I'm selling a sixth-generation poor copy, and that's a lie. I never sold any of the Zapruder film to begin with until Bo Greitz began selling it, which I've already revealed on this program in Greit's own voice, which reveals that he also is a liar. And then I sold it for what it cost us. We only sold about 120 copies of that film, and we never sold it again. I then made my own documentary of the Kennedy assassination, which was the most extensive and which Oliver Stone copied by running the parade of Dwight David Eisenhower at the beginning of JFK with portions of Eisenhower's speech warning the country against the military-industrial complex. That was originally in my documentary, and may be where Oliver Stone got the idea to make the movie JFK and laugh at the world. You see, because it's a Hollywood production, most people believe it, but it's not true at all. What it teaches you is that our Constitution doesn't work. Our form of government is no good. That, in fact, it's our government that is turned against us, and that is not true, ladies and gentlemen. Ours is the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. It is people who have turned against us. People who belong to the secret societies who have infiltrated and occupy all levels of our government, military, and society at large. How do you think all this happened? How do you think there could be a conspiracy of such magnitude and have it come off like it has, with no one talking for all these years, if it were not a religion? And if the perpetrators and participants were not a part of this religion, all sworn to secrecy after having ascended up a ladder of degrees of initiation in an organization of membership in a pyramidal structure that not even they know what they're a part of until they reach the very top. And during this ascension to the Godhead, so to speak, to the position of capstone upon the pyramid, a priest of the worship of the sun, the Lord Lucifer, they have already taken, by that time, over 100 solemn oaths, blood oaths, agreeing to their own sacrificial murder if they ever tell the secrets. Now, I wasn't onto this right away, but when I found out that the Office of Naval Intelligence had participated, and that everyone that I met in the Office of Naval Intelligence, or connected with it, was a member of one of the 4 secret societies that I've already informed you about, I had no idea of the occult significance of any of this. But over the years, I have studied and probably know more than anybody living upon this earth today outside of the highest levels of these secret societies, the Brotherhood, the Illuminati. I probably know more about them than most of them do. And ladies and gentlemen, the occult connection to the death of John F. Kennedy is overwhelming. Mr. Garrison, when he arrested the man in New Orleans, remember that they had an office, and that office had a door on 2 different streets. In other words, 2 doors, and each door was on a different street. The number of one of those doors was 1313. Walt Disney was a 33rd degree Freemason and used to hold meetings of the 33 Club in New Orleans Square of Disneyland on days that it was closed to the public. The address of Disneyland in Anaheim, California is 1313, ladies and gentlemen, Anaheim Boulevard. In several of the books written by the Knights Templar and by Freemasons, which I have quoted during the series on the mysteries, they state that Jacques de Molay was burned at the stake in the year 1313. Now, regular history books insist that it was the year 1314. But when you're going with the occult significance of the mysteries, you have to go by their numbers.